I'm leaving.
My marriage didn't end with a fight, it ended with a reservation. But before she could walk out, a young Latina woman walked in.
My name is Rowan Halle, and the night my marriage ended didn't tea come with a storm or a screaming match, it came with a reservation. Elise chose the restaurant. The same little Italian place where we celebrated anniversaries, birthdays, and the milestones we used to be proud of. The candlelight softened her face, but nothing could soften the coldness in her eyes. She came dressed like she was meeting someone, new hair, perfectly pinned, a navy dress hugging her shoulders, and a perfume that didn't smell like it was meant for me. Before our first appetizer even arrived, I could feel the distance radiating from her. She wasn't nervous. She wasn't sad. She was rehearsed. Halfway through the meal, she finally set down her fork, folded her hands, and looked at me as though preparing to deliver a business announcement. "Rowan," she said calmly, "I'm leaving you." There was no tremor in her voice, no hesitation, no guilt, just finality. I didn't explode, I didn't beg. I didn't even blink. I simply asked, "Is there someone else?" She didn't answer, but the silence between us was louder than any confession could have been. "Elise," I said quietly, "tell me the truth." She looked at me like I was a stranger, raised her wine glass, and said, "I don't need to explain myself. I've already spoken to an attorney. I'll send you the paperwork," and just like that, 12 years were reduced to a line item on a legal form. I just nodded once. "All right," oddly, that seemed to irritate her. "You're taking this surprisingly well," she said, her eyebrows lifting. "What do you want me to do?" I asked. "Break down here in public?" She scoffed. "You've always been like this, detached, silent, impossible to read. It's funny how people rewrite the story when they want to justify their exit." I just let it wash over me. She checked the time on her phone, impatient, restless. "You in a hurry?" I asked. She hesitated, then let out a long exhale. "I'm meeting someone after dinner. A knife with no blade would have hurt more kindly." Still, I didn't react. "Right," I whispered. She stood, smoothing down her dress. "You can finish eating." It doesn't matter anymore. But as she turned toward the entrance of the restaurant, everything changed. Her entire body froze. Not a flinch. Not a pause, a complete freeze. Her eyes widened in pure fear. And then I saw him. Standing by the door was a familiar figure, Callan Ward, a close friend I hadn't seen in months. Quiet, reliable, perceptive. And a man Elise clearly did not expect to run into tonight. He scanned the room until his eyes found me, then he nodded, just once, like a silent warning. Elise's voice broke into a whisper, trembling for the first time all evening. "Oh my God, why is he here?" Her reaction wasn't guilt. It was fear, absolute, unmistakable fear. Callan approached our table with calm, deliberate steps. "Rowan," he said, giving me a respectful nod, then he looked at Elise. "Evening, Elise." She clutched her purse like it was armor. "Callan, what are you doing here?" He didn't answer her. He looked straight at me. "You doing okay?" he asked softly. I just shrugged. "Been better." Elise stepped forward a little, her voice shaking. "Rowan, can we talk? Alone? Outside?" Callan responded before I could. "No," he said evenly. "Not yet." Elise visibly flinched at the authority in his voice. This wasn't an accidental encounter. He came here because he knew something. "Tell him," Callan said quietly, his eyes pinned on her. "Before I do, Callan, please don't," she started. "No more lying," I turned to her, still as calm as ever. "Elise, what's he talking about?" Her mouth opened, then closed. Not a single word came out. Callan sighed. "Rowan, she wasn't meeting some mystery person after this. She's been finalizing a lease for 2 months. My heartbeat slowed to a crawl. "A lease?" I asked. He nodded. "For a new apartment. One she's planning to move into with someone else." Her face drained of all color. Callan continued. "She made me promise not to tell you. Said you'd overreact. But from where I'm sitting, you're handling this better than she deserves," Elise snapped. "It wasn't like that." "Then say how it was," I replied softly. She sank back into her chair, hands shaking. "I wasn't going to tell you yet," she whispered. "I wanted to ease into it." "Ease into leaving your husband?" Callan said sharply. "You don't understand," she whispered desperately. "No," he fired back. "You don't understand. Rowan deserved honesty. And you hid everything. I stared at her quietly. Elise, why him? And why hide it? Her lip trembled. Then she finally spoke, barely audible. I fell for someone else. Silence wrapped around our table like a rope. She continued, her voice cracking. I didn't mean for it to happen. I felt so alone. You were distant. I tried to reach you, but you never saw me. It's the kind of confession that hurts more than the betrayal itself. And the apartment? I asked quietly. She didn't answer, but the truth sat between us like a stone. Callan stood, resting a hand on my shoulder. I just didn't want you blindsided, man. I nodded. Thank you. Elise reached out, her eyes glossy with tears. Rowan, I never wanted to hurt you. I met her gaze steadily. You didn't hurt me tonight, Elise. You hurt me months ago. Tonight just confirmed it. Callan excused himself, giving us a little space. Elise wiped her eyes, trying to steady her breathing. So, what now? She whispered. I leaned back in my chair, calm in a way I hadn't felt in years. You'll get the divorce you want, I said gently. No drama, no revenge? She swallowed hard. I didn't think you'd let go this easily. I shook my head. Letting go isn't the hard part. Staying with someone who already left. That's the hard part. Her tears fell silently, dripping onto the white tablecloth. I stood, placed enough money on the table for the bill, and slid into my coat. Elise, I said quietly, I hope you find whatever you were searching for. Her voice broke as she whispered. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. It never does, I replied softly. And then I walked out, not shattered, not defeated, just free. The night air was cool, settling over me like a clarity I had needed for a very long time. For months, I had felt something dying between us, softly, quietly, painfully. But tonight, that softness finally released me. Sometimes heartbreak doesn't tear you apart. Sometimes it sets you free in ways you never expected. And as I stepped away from that restaurant, I felt lighter than I had in years. Because the truth didn't destroy me. It unburdened me. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please consider liking and subscribing for more content. See you next time.